Amazing facts you've never heard without the AI voiceover. Germany is now one country, but years ago it was split into East and West Germany. Bonn was at the time the capital of West Germany, and it was full of lonely women. They had come from all over the country to fill the thousands of jobs created by the West German bureaucratic superstructure that had grown up since the end of World War II. The influx of these women upset the population balance in this small town, and men were heavily outnumbered by the army of female secretaries and filing clerks. One of these lonely women was Leonore Heinz, a slightly plump, rather plain brunette of 31 who worked as a secretary in the foreign ministry. On a Saturday evening in the winter of 1959, as she cleared away the remains of her solitary meal in her Bonn apartment, she resigned herself to another solitary evening in front of the television. Suddenly, her doorbell rang. She opened it to find a large, loose-limbed man clutching a bunch of red roses. He had close-cropped hair and prominent ears and appeared to be in his mid-30s. Lenore would not have called him handsome, but he had attractive eyes, and the scar on his rugged face gave him a certain fascination. "I'm sorry to trouble you," he said, "but I'm looking for Fräulein Newman." Lenore, who knew no one by that name, said, "I don't think there's anyone of that name in this building. Are you sure you have the right address?" The man pulled a piece of paper from his pocket and showed it to her. It bore the name Newman and Lenore's address. Shaking her head, she handed it back. "Someone must be playing a practical joke on me," said the man. He apologized and was about to turn away when a thought seemed to strike him. "Here," he said, thrusting the flowers toward Lenore. "You should have these for the trouble I've caused. It would be a pity to let them die." Lonely Lenore, overwhelmed momentarily by the generous gesture, recovered herself enough to invite the man into her apartment while she put the flowers in water. "Perhaps you would like coffee?" she asked. As Lenore prepared the coffee and put the roses in a glass vase, her caller introduced himself as Heinz Sutherland, a freelance photographer. Over the coffee, they talked and found they had much in common. At the end of the evening, Sutherland made a dinner date with Lenore for a few nights later. In the following months, Sutherland wooed Lenore with small gifts, flowers, dinner dates, theatre and concert tickets, and trips to the countryside and nearby Cologne. Before long, he was sharing her bed, and in December 1960, a little over a year after their first meeting, they were married. Lenore quickly settled down to a life of domestic bliss, happy to keep her job because Sutherland's income as a freelance photographer was, as he put it, perilous. One day, Sutherland asked Lenore to bring some documents home from the foreign ministry. At first, she was shocked and reluctant, but her husband kept up the pressure. Finally, torn between love for her husband and fear of losing him, she gave in. She started slipping documents into her handbag when she went home at lunchtime. While she was cooking their lunch, Sutherland would photograph the documents, and Lenore would replace them when she went back to work in the afternoon. Sutherland had first been recruited as an agent by Main Division II of the East German Ministry for State Security. In 1959, he was taken over by Lieutenant Colonel Evgeny Runge, a KGB illegal operating under deep cover in West Germany. It was Runge, acting on orders from Moscow, who ordered Sutherland to marry one of three secretaries in the West German Foreign Ministry spotted by the KGB as potential agents. By his marriage to Lenore, Sutherland became what is known as a principal agent, with his wife as a sub-agent. During the 5 years they were operating, the Sutherlands passed nearly 3,000 foreign ministry documents, one-third of them secret or top secret, to the Soviets. They were finally caught in 1967 when Runge defected to the CIA and betrayed them. Runge boasted to CIA officers, "We read diplomatic reports from abroad even before the West German foreign minister." When Lenore Sutherland learned at her trial that Sutherland's arrival at her apartment with the red roses had been deliberately planned to trap her into spying, her world fell apart. 3 weeks later, unable to live with the truth, she hanged herself in her cell with her nightdress. Would you pass secret documents along to your husband or wife if they asked you to? Tell me in the comments. Like, share, comment, and subscribe for more amazing facts.